Person, let me just request before they start the clock. No, I just want to request that I will be turning on my video after 48 hours without electricity and Matabeng, so I'll use that privilege of my video. Honorable Chairperson, honorable members, fellow South Africans, Khotso. We, the people of South Africa, recognize the injustices of our past, honor those who suffered for justice and freedom in our land, respect those who have worked to build and develop our country, and believe that South Africa belongs to all who live in it, united in diversity. In 1996, we committed ourselves to heal the divisions of the past, establish a society based on democratic values, social justice, and fundamental human rights, and to build a democratic South Africa where government is based on the will of the people and every citizen is equally protected by our law. Our constitution is the foundation of our social contract. We must ask ourselves how faithful we have been to that contract. I stand before you as an Afrikaner, born in South Africa, my home. And according to Celeste Theron, we are only 44 that speak Afrikaans in South Africa, so I count myself among them. It binds me deeply to our constitution and obliges me to defend it. I do so not to divide us, but because I love my country and refuse to surrender to corruption and incompetence. Our constitution protects all of us regardless of race, sex, or gender, and those who choose to cling to prejudice is an insult to our constitution and diminish our nation. Steve Biko warned that the most potent weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. It requires courage from us to free ourselves from any mindset that excuses incompetence and condones theft because the perpetrator looks like us. The road we have traveled over the past 30 years has seen great achievements. We've dismantled apartheid and exposes the terrible truth through the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, enfranchised every adult, to build institutions and integrated into the world. Yet, our road has been scarred by corruption, scandals, state capture, inequality, and a growing sense that our democracy is being hollowed out by selfish politicians. Chairperson, our biggest challenge that those supposed to protect the Constitution and Chapter 2 rights emerge as elitists who drive around in fancy cars and use the resources of this country to live in palaces and gather riches. Fellow South Africans, you get the government you vote for. You get the government you vote for. When we repeatedly vote for leaders who abuse their positions, we cannot be surprised when service delivery collapses and corruption blossoms. Kenyan scholar Lumumba laments that Africans are in the business of canonizing thieves and demonizing its saints. And he warns that Africa remains mired in underdevelopment because we keep electing the wrong people. We cannot keep the same corrupt players on the pitch and then complain about the score. We need to be critical, we need to be alert, and we need to be vigilant. And our vigilance begins in the polling booth. We must renew our vision that we as South Africans must live together as equals. We must refuse to allow to drift in complacency. We must demand ethical leadership, transparent governance, and a genuine service delivery. Our constitution empowers us to lay the foundations for a democratic and open society in which government is based on the will of the people. That the will is expressed not by just voting, by active citizenry, by holding public representatives accountable when the traps run dry, by insisting on consequence management when officials steal, and by celebrating competence over cadre deployment. Our loyalty is to South Africa and to the Constitution. When we expose corruption, we protect the nation. When we vote out those who fail, we strengthen our democracy. Accountability begins with us. If we elect leaders on the basis of the ethnicity, slogans, and patronage, we cannot complain when they raid the treasury. Ubuntu teaches us that our humanity is bound up in the humanity of others. When one of us is oppressed or impoverished, we're all diminished. When one of us is called a racist because of the color of their skin, or told that they are a sellout for challenging corruption, the dignity of our democracy is reduced. 30 years is a long time in politics, but a short time in nation building. We must traverse the road ahead with the same courage that carried us into the new South Africa. We must protect our constitutional democracy with the same vigilance that brought us into being. We get the government we vote for. So if we want a government that delivers services, protect our rights, and uphold the rule of law, then we must vote for the leaders who embody these values. If we fail to do so, we will drift towards the fate of societies where corruption is normalized and our democracy is hollowed. As we reflect on Freedom Day, I invite every member in this house to take hands and let us renew our commitment to social justice, to ethical governance, and to the promise of our Constitution. And if you cannot do that, South Africans, if those that you voted for are unwilling to change the course, then I say to South Africa, choose a new team, because our children deserve a future in which the dream of freedom is not portrayed by corruption of those entrusted to protect that. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Skirkoko. We now move on to the next